Chapter 1 The Chains of Tartarus. The depths of Tartarus were a place of endless suffering where the cries of the condemned merged with the howls of monstrous jailers. Here in a pit where time had no meaning, a soul named Orestes lingered. He had been cast into the abyss for crimes he barely recalled, a betrayal, a murder, a fate intertwined with tragedy. The other shades around him had long since lost hope, their spirits broken by the weight of their punishments. But Orestes refused to surrender. Though he had no flesh to feel pain, no heartbeat to stir his chest, something within him still pulsed with defiance. He would not remain here. He could not remain here. His soul ached for something more, for a purpose beyond the torment he had been. No soul had ever fled Tartarus. The walls of this prison were not just of stone and fire but of divine will. The very air sapped strength, and the river Lethe threatened to steal away all memory. Still Orestes watched, listened, and learned. He observed the patrols of the monstrous guardians, the shifts of the Furies, and the moments when the gates of Tartarus briefly opened to admit new prisoners. And then he made his move. Chapter 2 The Great Escape. It began with deception. Orestes whispered promises to shades more desperate than himself, stirring unrest among the damned. He traded secrets with forgotten spirits, learning of hidden passages carved through time by souls who had attempted escape only to fail. He studied the habits of Cerberus, the three-headed hound, and discovered that even the greatest of guards had its distractions. When the time was right, he acted. A riot broke out among the prisoners, a diversion orchestrated by Orestes himself. While the Furies descended upon the chaos, Orestes slipped through a crack in the obsidian walls, a passage too small for a mortal body but just wide enough for a desperate soul. He clung to shadows, evading the gaze of Hades' minions. As he reached the gates, he faced his final challenge, Cerberus itself. The beast sniffed the air, sensing something amiss. Orestes held his ground. With a trembling whisper, he invoked the name of Persephone, the queen of the underworld, whose mercy could sometimes sway the forces of death. Whether it was luck or fate, Cerberus hesitated long enough for Orestes to slip past. Then he was running through the endless void, fleeing the realm of the dead.